We're back again. What would it be now? It would be day 8 or 9 or something. I don't know. John's 1 minute. John's doing the second fix electrics. Leave it. So obviously the cable's come down. He's left a nice strip look there. He's pushed it through. The 2 gang switches there on the other side. I don't know what he's doing here though. You don't know, do you, John?
Put my glasses somewhere.
John's had a few comments about his weight loss. He'll be selling he reckons it's down to CMOS, but we'll talk about that in a bit. Right, we're going to jump back on cladding now again. Sun's out today. Hopefully it's going to stay out, so we should be able to clad the front of this building. I don't know if we can do the side yet because we haven't got the sound. Have we got the sound bar bracket, John? Yeah, the sound bar bracket is here, apparently. Okay, so again, same as yesterday, but what I'll do, I'll show you how I'm going to get round the door and over the door as well. So I'm just going to fire these pieces on. You can see there I've left them long again. If Davey jumps to the side of the building, all right, Davey, he'll see how I've cut the bottom off there. And there's the famous CMOS, but we'll talk about that in a bit. Okay, so that's why I'm leaving them long like that, because I'm going to put that 5x2 on the floor again. And I'm going to scribe it to the floor like I did yesterday. So that's that. When I get to the window, we'll start again. Right, so blasted them on, come to the door. Now you can see there that piece won't go on because the sill's in the way. So what we need to create now, we need to create like a C-section on this. Can you see that? You can't see that, can you, David? Can you see there? Yeah. So what I'm going to do, I'm now going to cut this piece out like that so it fits in. Right, so I know my top piece there, because I've just cut a load there, is 155 mil. So what I'll do, I'll measure that 155 there. Yep. And we know we're coming in, so we want to remove this bit here. Right, and I'm going to hold it in situ where it wants to go. At the height. Just get down there. Yeah, hold that up there. And I'm going to mark the bottom of the sill. Can you see that, David, there? Can you see it there? Look, I've just marked the bottom of the sill. So what I'll do now, just pop that there so it doesn't fall on me. I'll just take this measurement here, which is 60 mil. You see that, David? Look, it's fractionally more, but it'll go in at that. So what I need then, I need to make sure that I've got 60 mil of wood there, which brings me to there. See that? Yeah. I'll do the same up here. Mark that. We're right there. Yep. What isn't it? Right, 60 mil there. So that's the section I need to cut out. What I'm going to do is just freehand that, and I'll explain why it doesn't need to be dead perfect when it goes up. So that's my C-section there. So I need to cut that out now. Davey has changed the blade in the circular saw this morning. There it is. Did we get a load of batteries out, Davey?
There's a few in charge. And
That's fully charged. That'll last us for a job, that. Right. Again, I'm going to set the blade. Make sure it's not going to cut my fingers off if I catch it. It's just deeper than the wood there. So what I'm going to do now, I'm going to start that off, drop it down into it. And I'm going to go along there. Over there. And stop that on my line. Find my multi-tool, I've had it out this morning. Nip that off there. Not too worried that I've overcut that there, and I'll explain why in a minute. Right, get rid of that because that's rubbish. Right, what I'm going to do there is just cut that back a bit, like that. I'll explain that when it's going on. Yeah, get rid of that. Blade's only barely deep enough there. Look at the top, top's fine. Might actually just whip that off actually there. See that little bit, Davey? Okay, so that's good. Right, the reason why I've notched that bit out there is because I know from experience I'm going to hit the sill and it's not going to want to go in. But that now should go in because I've back cut it. Just force it across, make sure the top's looking good. It's in. Push it tight up to the bottom at sill. Give it a little tap like that. Tap it in. Use that Paslode hammer. Tap that. Right, you'll notice there, I'm a bit shy there. It doesn't matter, and I'll explain why in a second. Just getting them fixed like that. Tap them in. Double nail that bottom one there. Right, so what's going to happen is I'm going to put a cedar reveal on there. So I'll put that in, I'll cut it, it'll sit flush with there, and then a little architrave will go over there. So all this will be concealed. Same with that top there where I'm 5mm short, and there's a reason why I'm 5mm short. When I put these top ones on, I'm going to bring them all down flush with the bottom there, because I know that's dead level with the door, because I've put that on dead level with the door. The gap at the top I'm not concerned about, because like I said before yesterday, it's going to move a lot, so we put a bead on the top and that conceals everything. So the reason I've cut that 155, that's why it's 5mm short there. But again, we'll have a reveal on there and an architrave on there, and all that will be gone forever. Right, so the top, let me catch my breath. Yesterday we had some boards that were pretty crap, and we don't, so some, sorry. No, it's fine, just pause it there, Davey. So if you remember yesterday, we had some boards that John were like, he didn't want to fit. I'd selected some, I'd not seen the knots, he pulled them up, seen them, so there's nothing wrong with the board. It's just got knots in. We don't want it on the front elevation, just for aesthetics really. There's nothing actually wrong with it. So what we do, we cut up the board for above the door and below the door. So you can see there, they're all the same look, yeah? But what we don't want to do is put that pile up, put that pile up, put that, boom, because it'll look awful. So what we're going to do, we're going to mix them, almost shuffle them like a pack of cards really. So I'll just randomly take some like that, and then I'll mix it again on my next lot, and I'm going to go along there and mix them completely so that it looks very much like this, rather than having 5 of one colour, 5 of another colour, and so on. Same with the bottom. The bottom we're going to make a bit longer. David will probably cut them for me because it's sloping off and I can't cut them. I've managed to cut all these in one full go. So all I need to do is keep them flush. Let's have a look. Pop a few up and you can see what's going on. So as long as I keep them flush with the bottom of that timber, the old roofing batten there, then I'm good. And I keep them tight in. The mistake a lot of people made when we had quite a few people doing these and they've had to pull it off is they've put them on and they've not watched them being like vertical, and there might be little gaps there, and when they're getting along they're starting to go like that and they've had to pull them off. It's quite easy, you just need to know that, you know, you need to watch them and that they're in tight rather than rushing it. So I'm going to do that all the way along, and when I get to the end near the door, the end of the door over there, I'll then stop, I'll jump on the bottom, and then we'll probably end up doing another C-section on that side there, and then we can carry on, and then we'll do the reveals then as well. Get this front elevation completely finished. I've got my way to the top there, I've stopped at the bottom there. You can see there the way it's fallen. I won't have to cut a C-section out on this one, because when I pop that piece in like this, I'll just show you now, I'll give it somewhere where it wants to be. If you've run and you're slightly out, then you can always trim your bottom one. You can make it smaller and just recreate the chamfer on it. So anyway, that piece is going to go on there like that. There'll be a cedar reveal which will go on there like that, and it'll sit flush with that. And then sorry David, I'm wrong side. The cedar reveal will go on there like that, and then that architrave will pin to the reveal and pin to that cedar there. So that gap is completely irrelevant. It's fallen quite good for me actually, for a change. So it saved me having to cut another C-section out of that. So what I'll do now, I've just noticed I'm missing a bit of slate batten, and I'll tell you why as well. Can I have one of these trestles? You've got both of them? Bit of slate batten, David, where's that? There we go. Right, so what happened? The insulation there, we trapped a bit in there, so we've had to cut a hole out so that we could pull the insulation back so that we could get that soffit to go up properly. But by the time I put the cedar on and the bead on, that will be all gone again. It's just it got trapped there and we just noticed it was hanging down a little bit. So that just needs, before I put that on, just measure that with my finger. It just needs another little bit of slate batten on there. We're on to the last pas load now. I've got one at home where the piston snapped on it. I've got one there that's just decided to flicker red and green consistently. Don't know what's wrong with that, I'll have to Google that. So I'll nail that on there. That's fine with some brads, it's only holding top there. And what I'm going to do now, I'm going to carry on with these, get myself to the end. And then what I can do then is I'll drop back on the reveals and I'll show you how to do that. I'll do you, mate. Right, so I've done the tops, done the sides, done the bottoms, all that carry on. Yeah, pulled out for a light up there as well. You can see there where we've had to pull that insulation down, so that's almost covered that. When the bead's up there, that'll be covered. Right, so I need to do these reveals now. Now, the doors obviously need to go in perfectly plumb. Now, when we build the walls, we obviously put them in plumb, but you've got variations in timber thicknesses, you know, slate lats and stuff like that. So sometimes the reveal may not be parallel, and in this particular case, I'm just going to put that square like that, look, touching there. Can you see that, David? Yeah. This particular case, that reveal, can you see, look, it's not parallel. Yeah. Right, so the other one is parallel, by the way. So what I'm going to do, I've cut this piece of piece of cedar, and I've cut it just shy at bottom because when I fit this, I want to fit it like that, floating. So it's not sat on the sill and it's not collecting water. So I will float it a little bit like that. So I'm going to cut it, and I'm literally just going to, David, I suppose someone will be right in your face there, is it all right?
No, it's all right.
All right, so I'm literally going to draw down the back of that, and I know that I'm going to keep it pushed to there. So because it isn't parallel, I'll have to cut that with this circular saw, but I'm going to cut it. I'll show you that in a minute. Just come and have a look at this detail, Davey. So that's your bit of cedar. It's got your chamfer there where the groove is, and what we do, we put it up to there like that, and it provides a nice little detail. We used to silicone them, but what would happen then, the silicone didn't adhere very well. It'd go like a translucent colour and look awful. So we don't actually seal them anymore now, but the door is formed and sealed in anyway, so that's that. So what I'll do now is I'm going to cut that, and I'm going to cut it just shy of that line, and then I will power plane it, and then I'll get the block plane out and make it look nice and neat. Okay. So cut that, get rid of that. Put that over there, and we'll have a look at that now and see how it's looking before we start planing it up. So I'm pushing it, want it tight against there. I can see there, I'm quite proud there. So just looking at my line on there, I'm going to run power plane over the back of that to take the bulk off it before I hand plane it. If you overplane it, then what you can do, you can pull it forward this way because it'll create a shadow gap there, and that looks fine as well, so there's no to worry about there. Did we have power planer out, Davey? Yeah, we did. Just set that to 1/2 mil, see how we go on there first. Not enough. I know it was quite a lot in the middle, so Gonna take that line out there. Where I've drifted a bit with saw. We'll have a look at that now. And what I don't want it proud, because if it sticks proud, and then when the architrave goes on, and you know, as the building moves, timber shrinks backwards and forwards, you can see daylight coming through there, and it don't look good at all. So we're nearly there now. It's just got a little bit more to take off there, and then I'll drop my hand plane on that. Let's have a look at that now. Feels nice there. That's nice there. Just got a little bit there. See how that is now. Yeah, so that's nice now. So what I'm going to do, can you see the little black sill cap there, Davey? Yeah. So my cedar's actually sat on that. So there's actually, let's see if I can show you. No, I'm going to get my knife out and show you then, scratch sill. There's actually a gap under there, so no water's going to actually sit in there and start soaking up into the wood, which you don't want. It'll all run away. So that's good. What it wants now is a little hand plane on there. I'll just watch that don't fall, David. See if I can get this block of wood and show you. Yeah, you keep your hand on that a minute, David, while I just pull off a little bit of this architrave. So what'll happen now, that'll go on there, I'll plane it up obviously, and then that'll sit there like that. And what we're going to do, we're going to leave a very small quirk. The quirk is the distance between the architrave and the front edge. What I'll do, I'll take that arris off there, round that off, plane that up. That'll get pinned through there, that'll get pinned through there. And of course that'll get pinned into that piece of cedar there, and it'll get pinned into the backlat there as well. But what I'm going to be careful of is, on this particular one it's pretty flush actually, but let's say that's sat back, I'm not going to press it, because what will happen, it'll sit like that. So what I'll do, I'll just press it gently, but I'll pin it that side first. So I'm going to plane that up now. I'm going to do the same with the head. Obviously the head will have to go in 2 pieces because it's 3 metres and the boards are 8 foot long, 2.4. I'll do the other leg and then I'll show you the architrave details. We'll pop the top beads on, we'll cut the bottom off, and that's the front ready then to ready to get oiled. Don't know if you can do the side yet. If you're looking there, John's painting. He's putting his mist coat on, aren't you, John? Yeah. If you look on the internet, there's not a definitive answer for how much water you should put in your emulsion for your mist coat. John, do you want to tell them why you put a mist coat on?
Liam's told me. No, I'm only joking. Basically, you put a mist coat on. Some people still do. Some people put a bit of PVA and PVA the wall first. But what I've done is I've used about 20% of water and mixed it with the paint to thin the paint down, so that when you paint it onto the wall, it actually soaks into the plaster a bit more.
Because you've got a risk of it peeling off if you don't.
It's too thick, so when you paint it on, it more sits on top of the plaster, and then you knock it and it just scrapes off. So by watering it down, it thins it down and lets it go into the plaster.
Right, so the issue we've got here is the customer wants us to fit his soundbar, and the TV's absolutely huge. Is it 75 or 70?
75.
It's 75 inch, and he's got a soundbar that actually pops out that apparently bounces the sound off the ceiling. So this was a later thought, so what we're probably going to do, depending on what the soundbar's like and stuff, we might go out the back of the wall and back in the wall so there's no visible cables. So that's why John's getting his mist coat on here now. He's going to do the ceiling as well and try and get like the second to last coat on this wall so that we can fit the TV, we can dry fit it and possibly leave it on the wall because it is massive. It's quite heavy as well. Right, so I'm gonna block plane this. David is second fixing the lights. David, what did you do at college? Do you remember? What did you do at college when you did electrician's course? What was it, a City and Guilds? Or?
City and Guilds, yeah.
Do you remember what numbers it were?
No, I don't know.
No, you don't know. I don't remember what mine was. I think mine was a 2320 or something like that. Anyway, Davey's been second fixing the lights with John. They've also second fixing the sockets. He's left the sockets off the wall so that he can get a good paint finish on them. But that's where we are. So I'll block plane this up. I'll do the top and sides and then we'll jump back and I'll show you the architraves going on. Right. we've done the internal reveals, so we're going to do the architraves. I've already popped that one over here. We're going to put one on here. So what I'm going to do, I want my architrave to, pencil in my mouth, you can hear me. I want the architrave to sit level with the bottom of the sill. So I'm going to hook that on there, if it'll hook on. It will in a minute. And I'm going to cut that at 200. Give myself plenty to play with. Right, so that'll be the bottom there because I've got a nice neat cut on that. I'm going to look at them and see which side is the best, which is the opposite side to that. So I want that side facing me. I'm now going to, if David wants to come down here, might see the detail. I'm going to put that so it's flush with the bottom of the sill there, yeah? Okay? I'm then going to draw that angle there, look. See that? Yep. I'm then going to sit the architrave where it is going to finish in its finished place, and I'm going to just mark the side of the sill there. Did you see that? Yeah. Right, so I don't know if you can see this, Davey. I'm then going to just finger gauge it like that, and then like that. So that section there I want to cut out. I'll do that with the multi-tool. You can use a coping saw, but I found this multi-tool, the new one's like, you've got a lot of control on it. He says, watch him ball this up now. If you noticed, I back cut that there. Oops. Right. See that what I've done then, Davey? Just jumped a little bit. So my saying that I had loads of control over it, that just got rid of that for me, didn't it? So what I need to do now is get rid of that bit there. Yeah, just put your hand on that, stop it vibrating. Okay, I'm going to back cut that there. I back cut that for a reason. It's because of that little plastic ribbed thing there. I just want it to sit on as neat as I can. So there you see, look, there's no, I've left that gap purposely there so that there's no water sat under there and it's holding onto it there. So that's in a good position now. I'm looking at the bottom of that sill there. And it's because I've extended that because I've gone into that balls up, then I'll just whip a little bit, sorry David, I'll whip a little bit off there, off the length, just a teeny bit. That's good now. I'll just slide that out your way, David. Right, so what I'm going to do now is offer this up. That's in its position there. I'm going to keep that tight to there because I don't want that to move. Now, I'm keeping my quirk quite small so that I've got plenty of wood to pin into. Obviously it's outside, it's going to move and stuff like that. So that's that. I'm now going to trim this. This is the top. Now, you'll be thinking, why has he cut that square? Well, if you've watched our stuff, we don't put a mitre on these architraves because it's outside, it will open up in no time. So we just butt joint them and it actually looks quite nice. And I have noticed now that a few other guys that are doing videos and garden room stuff and that are actually butting theirs up as well. It just makes sense. It's going to open up, so that's what you want to do. Right. So that's the top finish. I'm just going to put a little chamfer detail on bottom there. Just to tidy that up. Okay, we're all good with that. Right, again, I'm going to press it tight at the bottom. Get it into the right position it wants to go. And I'm going to show you now. The double pin it. Now, you may think, oh my God, look at that, it's face fixed. But trust me, when this is oiled, and in a week or two, looks absolutely fine. Like I say, we use the 18 gauge because you've got a smaller entry hole on it, which of course the face fixing is what you're looking for really. So that's that. You know what, Davey? I'm using that gun that's run out of pins. Them top two didn't take. I thought they sounded a bit hollow. My other gun's broke this morning, so we're on this one now that doesn't indicate. So I'm going to go for the same hole again. There we go. So that's pinned now, that's solid. Right, I've got my top head architrave to put on now. We can get longer ones, but what always happens, they get damaged in van, they get broke, they get used. So what we do, we just put a little detail in the middle. Let's see if I can remember how I do this now. Do I cut the angles first, David? I cannot remember for the life of me. You don't know. Right, you cut a little piece like that. And watch my fingers on this one. If ever the saw is going to pull, it's when it's going to pull that and it'll flip that wood up and give you the fright of your life. Right, so what I'm going to do now, I think it's 10 degrees, Davey, isn't it? Jen normally does this and she's not here, so. Put 10 degrees on that. It is 10, John, yeah, is that what you're saying? And that's like a little block there that we've, so what I'm going to do, just look for the sander. Where the hell's that gone, David?
Behind us somewhere, is it? I took the battery off.
Oh, yeah. Right, is it flat?
Yeah,
right, multi-tool, that's done with for now, isn't it? Get battery on there. So what I'm going to do now is just sand the edges. Right, so that's that. I'm now gonna... Now, I remember, if any of you remember Amy, when she first did this, she pinned through her finger, didn't she, John? When she pinned that one up on. Because we were trying to conceal it, so half of 33 is 16 and a half, Davey, is that right? Yeah, 16 and a half, so that's my centre line there. I know that's my centre. Yeah. So what I'm going to do now, I'm going to keep this quite low to the bottom. I'm going to put my glasses on to see this. Can you see it all right, Davey?
Yeah.
Yeah. Right, I'm going to keep it quite low at the bottom. Get it centre. Even, yeah. And hold that like that. I'm now going to try and fix it secretly. Always a good idea to keep your fingers at least the distance away from the nails. So that's that little block on there. So what I'll do now, I will get another leg of architrave, which I've got there. I'll cut myself a 10-degree cut on that. I'll now offer this up. And what we do then, we just, that'll butt up to there. Obviously, I'll tidy that up in a minute. Pencil, Davey. Got it. Right, and then I'm going to go 10 mil past there. But what we did the other day, because we cut one short, we put a little angle on it and it actually looked quite nice. Maybe a little oriental, but looked nice. So that there now, well, it's just a little, I'm going to take that corner off there. Soften the edges up on it because you don't want it too harsh looking, because any sharp definite edges give away any little blemishes or little movement when the wood movement. So if you just soften the edges, just make the whole thing look a lot nicer. Right, so it is joinery on the fly, isn't it? You know, it's not workshop, it's joinery. But there we go, so that'll sit on there like that. If I've done my maths right, that'll sit on there. It's 10 over there, so when I say 10, it's 10 mil past. And get that to where I want to go. That will then hide them fixings in there. So the whole thing now is starting to tie it together as well, because obviously that architrave now is fitting into the reveal and also fitting into the cedar that I've fixing rather. And if Davey wants to look at that little detail there, I mean, we did that completely by accident the other day. Because I believe, was it me who cut it too short, Dave? I think it was, wasn't it? I think I cut it too short and we didn't have any more. And I says, right, let's just do this and see what happens. And it actually looked nice. Have I got wrong way there, David? Haven't I? Are we on? Yeah. Right, so I've got 10mm past there again. I'm going to indicate the direction of cut so that I don't balls it up. Set that again to 10 degrees. Don't have to be 10 degrees, whatever you want to do it. It's just something we do. Get rid of that, give this a sand. Soften it up again. A good tip, if you've got a solid piece of wood, if you take a chamfer off it, it's like a big heavy piece. You take a chamfer off it, it makes it look less of a heavy and a big block piece. It's more delicate then, really. Matt Tyler showed me that. He's done a lot of work for Matt Tyler. Okay. That's that. Right, we'll get that over there. See if I've done this right. That's the pas load that's gone haywire. Just get that burr off there that I've just seen. Get that the same height as that, which it is. Oh. Just checking my pin situation there. Shut that door. Pull that down to there. Right, so that now is your reveals, your front, your architraves. All that remains for me to do now is put the top bead on, the same as I did yesterday. If David wants to have a look at that. See that oil there? Look, it's still drying in, but it's dry to the touch. I'll put the top bead straight the way down there. I'll cut off the bottom and then that's ready for oiling, so that's your front finished. I'm sure you'll agree, it looks rather nice. That's the end of the day. So you can't clean the dust when the oil's on because the dust will stick to the oil, so obviously that'll all get cleaned down tomorrow. John's oiled it and he's still oiling it. That's outside PIR light. We've got this far because what's happening now is this is a late addition to the plan, so we're going to try and get around this somehow. Customer's got a sound bar. He wants it 5 inches below the TV, John? Yeah. 5 inches below the TV because that's the optimum height for the sound to reflect around the room according to the manufacturer. So that's what we're doing. So we're going to have to come out of there with an exit hole and go back in behind the TV. So that's as far as we're going with that today. Like I said, John's using the Ultra-Roll, John? We've had a few questions about this stuff, CMOS. Yeah. It's from a company called the Moss Way. Now, my mate John Doherty, or our mate John Doherty, we grew up together, didn't we, John? That in your way? Yeah. He reckons it's great for aches and pains, and seeing as we're on the wrong side of 25, have a look at this, David, look. Yeah, that's the consistency of it. When you put it in your mouth, it actually
tastes a bit like something that sounds like CMOS.
it's quite hard to swallow, but I think if I try to swallow it in one go, I'll probably dip. It's not the most pleasantest stuff, but I've been taking it more or less every day, sort of kind of thing, for 2 weeks now, and my aches and pains have gone. John's been taking it a week, hasn't you, John?
Yeah, they seem to have been stuff. They're not fully gone, but I definitely feel a bit better.
A bit better. So whether it works or whether it doesn't, or whether it's a placebo, I don't know. But the Moss Way, that's where it comes from. I've just managed to swallow it, so that's not very nice. Right, but we're going to keep on taking that and see what happens. My mate says we'll be 21 again.
John Doherty said he's found a place cheaper. So if you buy something you like it, before you buy it again, he's found somewhere cheaper, but he's just waiting for the link.
And apparently you can get different flavours, which might be beneficial because it's horrible.
There's enough in there to complete them.
Right, if they're in, they're in. John, so John, we've left, give us that here, we've left, have a look, David, we've left the other tin of oil in the container. So what John's going to do now, he's probably going to do, what, 2 boards at a time? so that he doesn't half finish a board, and see if you can stretch it to the end. But you can see how beautiful it looks. Look, that's what it was before, which still looks really nice, yeah? But the oil really brings the colours out.
Davey, come close to a piece that's got none on. Just video one of these two. Can you see it there? So now I'll paint it. Obviously.
Yeah, look at that, how rich it looks now. It's really nice. It applies quite well, doesn't it, John?
Yeah.
It's quite stiff, I suppose, to get it on, but like I say, we used Osmo ones, and it stayed sticky for ages. And if you use it in the summertime, your wall's just covered in little midges and flies because they're stuck to it. But that's that. We're nearly done with that. Inside, I'll show you inside. We've got. I'll stop shouting to a bit of an echo now, David. Can you come in here? John's give it a mist coat, and so what he'll do now, he's going to start painting it again tomorrow. I assume he's doing it still on. We've got the TV there. It's a 75-inch TV, which we wasn't aware it were going to be 75-inch when we put the pattresses in the wall, but luckily enough, the pattresses were big enough and they are supporting the TV. So this is the sound bar. The sound bar is going to go on there, and the idea behind this sound bar is it pulls out, so the sound bounces off the ceiling apparently. So what the problem is now, we need to get out of there and still make it look attractive because the cables are going to come in and out. So the customers ordered these things off Amazon. They're like a flush mounted because we can't put a normal back box on with a brush plate. So he's ordered these things are flush mounted. But what I'm thinking is we might take the brush out of a brush plate and fix it inside there. But I'll see how we go with that tomorrow. I might actually get a few. So that is black all the way along there, but we'll have a look and see what happens with that tomorrow. So that's it. The raffle is Saturday. Do not forget about the raffle. I will post a quick video on Friday night, and then when the link is available on Saturday, I'll put the link in the description on Saturday if you're watching on YouTube. Instagram, it will be in my bio, and if you're on the Facebook group, it will be pinned at the top of the page. But there'll be a limited amount of tickets. There'll still be £2. It's a massive Milwaukee kit in there. Second prize. I haven't decided yet if it's the Makita or the DeWalt and vice versa, but we'll see. So that's Saturday. Thanks for watching. Please like and subscribe, and we'll see you tomorrow. We won't be complete on this tomorrow now, which we were hoping to be, simply because we've now been asked to paint it as well. But that's that. So I'll see you tomorrow. Thank you.